So you upload your resume to a job application, and then the next screen asks for your work history. It's ridiculous, right? Today I'm going to cover why this ridiculous process exists, as well as answer some other questions that I often get about Applicant Tracking Systems, or ATSs. My name is Sara Camilo. I'm a certified career coach and a resume writer with 15 years of recruiting and ATS experience. Last month, I wrote a post on LinkedIn about this topic, and I received over 15,000 impressions, which is a ton for me. I put the link in the description below if you want to dive into all the chaos and all the good and the bad comments that I received. But here's a few comments. It's the most annoying thing ever. I stopped completing these applications. It's 100% ridiculous. Massive respect to the applicant's time. I'm not doing this anymore. It's inconsiderate. It's rude. It makes no sense. But then, of course, on the flip side, some of the other comments were like, it's the ATS, it's the process, we have to deal with it, let's move on. So in between all of these opinions and comments and all of that and frustration, I did get a lot of questions as well. At that time, I just started jotting them down and tracking and kind of started creating the script from there. So let's break it down by starting with what the heck is an ATS. So an ATS, or an Applicant Tracking System, it's a software that companies use to manage their job postings. It can parse your information from your resume when you apply, and then it tracks your process. It tracks all the candidates' process along the way through the offer stage or the decline stage. You can schedule, or recruiters can schedule interviews from it, send emails, decline emails, send offer letters. You can generate reports. It's pretty much a really big database. And then it organizes all the job seekers and all the job applicants into each job folder. Now with AI, the ATS can also scan your resume, rank your application. So if you were job applicant number 200 in a job, because of the right keywords, job titles, all of that, it can rank you higher in that job folder and give you a higher chance of the recruiter opening your profile or your resume. There is a ton more that ATSs can do, and there's so many different ones. So do a little research on your own as well so you can get some additional clarity, which will help you along in your own job search. So back to the original question, why do I have to re-enter my work history after uploading my resume? So here's the not so fancy answer to that question for 3 reasons: legal compliance, application standards, ATS requirements. Is that vague? Yes, but I'm going to get into this a little bit more. So here's the part you probably don't want to hear. Should you do both? Yes, you should upload your resume and fill out those annoying text boxes. Why? Because there are some recruiters who only read what's in those text boxes, and then there are other recruiters who only look at your resume. There are probably more who only look at the text boxes, and here's why. It's about 3 or 4 extra clicks for them to click on your resume, download it, and then open it. So it feels faster to them to only look at the text boxes. Now, in some cases, those text boxes are completed by parsing your information from your resume. But again, this is where every ATS is a little bit different. And so if those text boxes are not completed by you or parsed by your resume, you are going to be misrepresented in the ATS and probably declined by the recruiter who doesn't want to download your resume. Now, there were a lot of comments in my LinkedIn post that were like, isn't that the recruiter's job? Yes, but there are still some who don't take the time to do it, so you have to work with that. The lesson here is don't let redundancy cost you the job. So a workaround here, make sure your LinkedIn profile is also updated, because sometimes if some information is parsed and you didn't fill out all of the text boxes, it may come up that you worked at a company that is a competitor of the job that you applied for, and a recruiter may see that and then go, oh, let me just look at their LinkedIn. Also, many recruiters look at both your resume and your LinkedIn, so it's a good practice to just have your LinkedIn profile updated anyway. If you need LinkedIn help, I have a video called How to Use LinkedIn to Get a Job. Check that one out next. Question I often get is, so not all ATSs are the same? No, not even close. There are over 100 ATSs out there. Some are great, some are not, some are outdated. Some companies use all the capabilities, others don't. Some companies, I believe Amazon and Google, have created their own ATS, so you know they're going to all vary slightly from each other. One way I've described it to my clients is think of it like an iPhone. You could have an iPhone 10 and an iPhone 20. The same foundation and core functions are the same, but it's wildly different experience. I'm about to jump into the questions from my LinkedIn post because I'm guessing if some people had them there, other people are going to have the same questions. If you have a question that doesn't get answered in this video, please comment below any additional questions. The ATS is a very confusing topic. So if you've never used it before, like many recruiters have, it's hard to really explain it unless you've used it before. And also there are so many wrong articles out there about the ATS and how to beat the bot, how to beat the ATS. Consider the source. If it's not written by a recruiter or somebody who has said they've used an ATS, don't even read the article. You're probably going to get confused, and there's probably a lot of errors in that article. Okay, let's get to the Q&A. Can recruiters see all the jobs I've applied for at their company? Yes. They can click on your name, look at your profile, and see all the jobs that you applied for at that organization. Even if it's a job that isn't posted by them, or even you applied for before they even got there. You're in that company's database long term, so they can see all of the jobs that you've applied for. Next question, does a resume format matter? In the US, it absolutely matters. So you want a very simple format on your resume so that things have an easy way of being parsed. So you want to avoid columns, tables, graphics, your headshot, any kind of weird fonts that it maybe can't read. You want to have clean bullet points throughout. And I have a video on this as well. Check that out. Next question. Why does my resume content sometimes look messed up after uploading? There are many ATSs that have outdated parsing technology. So if your resume isn't ATS friendly or compliant, the details can get scrambled or completely disappear. I've seen some where your address is under your name or your company is under your address. Like it can just be pulled because the parsing isn't updated. But that's also because everybody writes their resume differently, right? Some people put education at the top, some people put it at the end. Some people use a summary, some people don't. And the parsing technology isn't able to read all of that. So that's why things get messed up with the parsing, and that's why you have to do both. You have to upload your resume and fill out the text boxes. One other detail on the format. So when you research like modern resume formats, you're going to see a template that looks like 2 columns. One side is shaded, one side is not, and there's 2 different types of information there. The thing is, computers are built to read left to right, and so is the parsing. So when it hits that column, it isn't able to parse accurately, which is why, again, you're misrepresented in the system. So you can use that format for emailing your resume to somebody and bringing it on site to an interview, but for your online application, make sure you use a 1-column simple format resume in the US. Next question, what's with the legal requirement excuse? So companies have to follow EEO or Equal Employment Opportunity laws and internal compliance standards. So the ATS can help them with that. But no, there's no one federal law that says make people enter the same information twice, which is what the person was alluding to in my LinkedIn post. Next question, this is similar. What do you mean by application standards? So each company and each state have their own internal standards based on the industry, location, company policy. So if you've ever noticed how some applications ask for your salary expectations and some don't, that's just one of the standards that they have at that organization. Standards vary, and it's frustrating, but true. Should I put my resume in a PDF or Word doc or a different type of format? So Word is actually your safest bet. Some systems accept PDFs, and it'll be in parentheses what formats are compatible with that system. So when in doubt, use Word or PDF. Try to use any kind of like JPEG or anything else like that. Next question, how do I know if I've passed the ATS? Well, you don't. I'm sorry. So unless a recruiter contacts you. But optimizing your resume with the right keywords and the right format is your best shot. So again, I know it is a very ridiculous process, but I do recommend uploading your resume and filling out those text boxes when you apply, just to give yourself the best shot of getting your resume in front of the right recruiter. You're not alone for thinking that this is crazy or broken or absolutely ridiculous, because it kind of is. But for now, this is just the process. So having a better understanding of the ATS will hopefully make this process a little bit better for you. If you have any other questions about the ATS that I haven't answered, please drop them in the comments below. And if you'd like any other videos on this, please let me know. I'd be happy to do that. So drop those comments below as well. If you like this video, please like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.